Yeah.
So I just wanted to show you STORJ because STORJ is one like that's pre-move, right? Like it's easy to say, hey, these are all lit up green and it's already moved. But STORJ was one that was really cool. And I want this for the training too, because this one was like, it's kind of like what it looks like before we've had a real significant move. We may have had some movement, don't get me wrong, but not like extreme, because we can see the 2 hour and the 4 hour are still in bearish channels, right? Like these are those two time frames. 2 hour is just breaking out of its channel, possibly. 4 hour also is possibly breaking out of a channel. In fact, nothing's even changed on the 1 day. And it's really just like the smaller time frames on this chart that even say that it's a possibility, not a certainty, but even just a possibility. And so this is kind of where we could look at 1 week and 2 week pressure lines because STORJ may not have a whole lot of data for us. And we could like kind of look at a few different ones, right?
So why do you
That
have
one,
that CCM only on that upper left and the bottom right versus all of them for this piece?
because this is not one where I need so many.
Okay. Okay.
You'll notice that the groupings are different, right? This is literally like my perspective, which comes from the custom setting. So it's
Okay.
24 minute, 45 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 6 hour. So it's got kind of like scalping, and then it's kind of like sprinkled in with things that could almost lead into swing trading. And then it has
Yeah.
one that's kind of like macro, right? The whole 1 week. And so that's kind of like, again, a custom chart that's a little bit of everything, but it gives you that perspective. This one starts with the 1 minute, and the largest time frame it has is the 4 hour. So it's assessing a totally different set of time frames. This is the one that's kind of like, if I jumped in right now, these two time frames would tell me the likelihood that this could immediately go against me, which honestly
Right.
in the 1 minute is fairly decent, right? Expansion monitor with a clean trend, channel breaking in the 1 minute. That means we're consolidating, if not potentially could turn into a reversal. But we have to remember it's just the 1 minute. So that's where that tunnel vision comes into play. And that's why these time frames are actually much more relevant to a little bit of a, potentially an early move into something larger. So then we go, are we about to do something dumb if we long it right now? And the answer is right now, yes, because of that and because of that. We're just not there yet. But this might actually be an amazing move. This is where we would drop that linear regression, or excuse me, that horizontal ray, and then just set the alarm and say, hey, wake me up when it hits 56. I don't care that I missed this price action from here to here, because until it gets there, there's a good chance that it just turns into a flop and it fails. But once we're here, I may actually have a lot more statistical probability working in my favor that from that point forward would make for a really great long entry. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for. So it's like this is one that like would be keep your eye on STORJ because I like the way that the 24 minute through the 2 hour are turning. And honestly, if the 4 hour and the 6 hour begin to turn also, then I'm really interested in STORJ. You can always just double click on it and you can adjust time frames. So if I want to change that 6 hour, for instance, that is, I don't know why they're not populating here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So time frame 5, if I want to change that to 4 hour, I can, and I click OK. And then it's going to re-examine the data, and you're gonna see right here, it's gonna change over to be monitoring the 4 hour time frame. It takes a second because it takes a minute to move, but if I want to look at the 4 hour, which is a little more sensitive, then I do that, right? So now I'm looking at the 4 hour, which is going to move before the 6 hour, and I can see it's not breaking any more bearish, and it actually has a green circle here, which means it's an orange breakout bar. right? Which is why over here it's orange. It's accurate. We see that orange breakout bar. So it has propensity for a breakout, but I really just need to see like these two start to turn. And if I could see a green dot show up here, showing me that that bearish 4 hour right here is starting to even just shift a little bit, then that would be a big deal. And there's just no need to rush it, because the moment that that happens, there's opportunity for a much longer move that could last days. It could be like a multi-day run. But until then, it's just too dangerous, and it could just be that this is relatively short-term volatility, even though it kind of looks potentially sexy. There's a good chance that it's dangerous because it's right under a ribbon, and it's right under a ribbon here. And these channels are not fully broken. But the 2 hour is breaking. I mean, you see it here. That's what this little dotted blue line is. And that's why on the 2 hour, you have this green dot right here. That's signifying the 2 hour linear regression is actually breaking upward. And you can see the price action breaking upward. You can see the price action right here, and you can see it breaking out of the channel. But again, that could just be volatility until we get clear of these ribbons. Ribbons are, if you're gonna, if you're trying to break a ribbon from the downside, a ribbon is very, very dangerous to long against. And at the same time, if we were looking for a short, and a lot of data was saying that like a short was good, then this could actually be a great place to short. But the truth is, you don't want to short against all of these movement monitors. These are all orange. There's a lot of, and these are all breaking bullish. And there's room for expansion even in the 2 hour. And when those things ping, it can be pretty strong. So the thing to do is wait for the long and see if that opportunity arises, but don't rush in, because there's a chance that we get rejected. You have to wait for those things to clear. And again, if we get to where the 2 hour and the 4 hour, especially the 4 hour, starts to show signs of a green dot showing that that bearish channel is starting to break upward, then all of those things combined would make for a great long. And then you protect it with asymmetry. You know, do all the right things. You can also see this pressure line right here is also a reason that this is a dumb place to long, right? I literally just pull up that one pressure line right here, and it says, why would you long right below a pressure line? Is that a pressure line? Yep, it is, because it's going away when I click it. So it's not a line I drew. It is a pressure line. So that'd be another thing to clear, right? It's dumb to long here. It's not so dumb to long here, because here that price action could go up, retest, and then go up. So once you have that breach, it's no longer that dumb to go after that long. And when you look at these charts, you'd probably see that it's possible that these ribbons, these triple strand ribbons, have been broken too. And so all of those things are the resistances that you want to be above before you enter into a long. So that kind of falls into that. This could be a really amazing setup, and good things could happen. But at the same time, like, now is just not yet the right time to long it. We have to get through a few of those things that would be, that would otherwise be dumb to long against. And then once we get through those and we no longer have anything dumb in our way, then that's the perfect place to long. And I use that language because it's the language I use with myself, that because I've just, there's been so many times when I go, man, that was dumb. Like, if I just looked at it like, don't do dumb things, and here's like a few rules, then it works really well. So I just literally use the language of look for anything that you're about to do that is dumb. And if you see something that would be dumb to do, like longing at a ribbon, or longing below a pressure line, or longing before the 4 hour has a break, then just don't do it. You'll make more money by saving that money than you will, taking chances.